Man, I've done a lot of videos. I think one thing that I do but don't really elaborate on is my favorites. I usually say something is one of my favorites without mentioning the rest, but it's usually because I think it would take a while and would be better for a different video. Well, this is that video. I'm going to be talking about all of my favorite stands here, or at least like a good portion of them. And if I don't have a stand mentioned in here, it doesn't mean that I dislike it. There's a lot of stands that I do like, but there's a specific few that I like more than the others. But now, let's get started with my favorite stands in part 3. So the first stand is going to be Pet Shop Stand Horus. I love the overwhelming power that it had and how it worked in the fight against Iggy. Its design is my favorite in all of part 3, and it's probably due to it being skeletal and made of ice. The coloring used in the colored manga made me even appreciate it even more, since I was a bit tired of the dry colors being used the whole part. Seeing Horus and Geb in part 3 and having cool colors is like drinking water after waking up from it being too hot. And not talking about cool colors as in like, oh, I appreciate this color more, on cool colors as in like darker shades, blue, like, you know what I'm talking about. And it's just a refreshing feeling. Speaking of Geb, I like the stand for all the same reasons that I do Horus, but I picked Horus over Geb due to it being a skeletal form and cryokinesis. Sometimes I'd like to think about Horus if it was in the hands of a human and if they had been able to have ice claws on their hands, but I think that's something on its own. I'm also sure that you probably actually get frostbite if you try to do that with your hands, unless like the stand nullifies it by you using it, but that's something on its own. Altogether, good stand, good coloring, great ability. The next stand is Justice. You might see a pattern. I really like skeletons. When looking at the design of Justice, I like it because of its skeletal design and the stand being fog. While the area is obviously a dry setting, Justice had made everything a darker and cooler tone. Cooler in terms of cooler colors again. The design alone makes me look at Justice like it's a pre-evolution of Bargain from Bleach. And on the ability, I like being able to control anything, controlling corpses through these holes, and oh my god, it's bringing everything back to the dead, back from the dead. Skeletal design, I was like, oh my goodness, I love this. It's such a strong ability. And putting that together with being a fog stand, it was just ridiculous. So shout out to the stand Espada. The final stand in Stardust Crusaders, Death 13. Design-wise, it didn't completely transfer over from the tarot card, but it's good that it didn't. Since it didn't, it wasn't just another Grim Reaper iteration. I love its Jester mask, the extremely large robe that makes it seem like it's a huge stand, and the color scheme. Purple and gold work so well together, and it was used so well right here. Focusing on the detail that Araki had put into doing the gold armor of the stand, it's one of the things that makes the stand just pop with some feeling of power and royalty, even though the stand is made to be childish in the fights. Its ability of dream world control is something that I do enjoy because of what I think Araki could have been inspired by to make that an ability in JoJo. I also really do love the scythe that Death 13 uses. Summing it all up, colors of royalty, Grim Reaper inspiration, but not completely just taking from it, like ripping it straight off the bat, and a reasonably strong ability. Moving on into Diamond is Unbreakable. The first stand is going to be Crazy Diamond. I don't know what got me into liking the stand first, the color scheme, heart armor which meets with Josuke's character design, or the extremely creative restoration ability. The stand has such a lovely color scheme that I'd affiliate with something being based more on being cheerful and cute, but it's being used for this gigantic, lethal, shredded spirit that it just makes me love it even more. A contrasting stand design that really brings out the feeling of the stand itself. It's Crazy Diamond. There was also the cover of chapter 368, where it's Crazy Diamond holding that heart necklace with his hand overlapping the panel. And I feel like this was one of the best covers you'll see in part 4. This is my opinion on that. The definition on the neck and the trap area, along with the eyes that pop right at you when looking at them. This cover alone is one of the reasons that I really do love Crazy Diamond. I'd buy an official shirt if it had this exact cover on the front of it. On the restoration ability, I love how it requires Josuke learning and thinking about how it could be utilized. It's not just capitalizing on his strengths, but creating new ways to answer to specific situations. For example, the glass heart being a distance attack that was going to go back to Kira no matter what. So summary, great color scheme and design, great power, and amazing manga covers. On to the next stand, and that stand is Heaven's Door. I have too many things to say at once for this stand. So, alright, odd note, I love how Rohan says Heaven's Door. There's a couple of sounds that give me extra life points, and Rohan summoning Heaven's Door is definitely one of them. It goes along with how Kira says Killer Queen, Giorno saying Gold Experience, or every time Polnareff unleashes Silver Chariot on someone with the intent to eliminate them. It's so good. I see myself saying it with them every time. The design is great for being based around Rohan and his mangaka interests, but what it has all together is the ability. If you turn someone into a book, you have all information possible on that person. And that alone is just something that I just lose my mind about, because I'm a person that really likes to take apart everything and going about like trying to figure out what's the history of insert thing here, what's the history of this person, and all of that. But yet, this is all done just by the ability alone. Along with being able to do that, you can write in your commands onto the person. These commands go extremely far with how they can be used. From breaking the laws of physics to being able to learn an entire language, all just by writing a sentence down. It's insane. And I love everything about it. I also love the design of the stand. And sometimes I think about if it was due to Rohan editing the stand, because it's not what we first saw when being introduced to Heaven's Door. But that's just a shower thought. You don't really have to take that as seriously. It's just my own little thing. It's also possible that, well, no, it actually takes away from Rohan's manga, the pink boy. I forgot the full name for it, but it took away from that. So I can see that connecting over. But final thoughts, phenomenal ability, and great stand design. And now, my last stand of part 4, being the one stand that fights for my number 1 favorite, but is still being contested with another stand that I haven't mentioned yet. And this stand is Killer Queen. I would like to think that people picked up on how much I liked Killer Queen with how much I mention it. I love everything about the stand and what it connects to. The design, the color scheme, the posing, the names of the abilities, the stand user, its effect on the story, the strength, the stand's voice, and how it says when it's being summoned. Everything about Killer Queen. You guys don't understand how much I love Killer Queen talking for itself and how it says bites the dust. How that scene was done so good, and I can go back to it and just watch the bites the dust arc alone repetitively. Just hearing Killer Queen say it alone, it's Daiksan no Bakuran. It sounds like corny when I say it, obviously, but it's how the voice actor puts so much work into it and so much power and like everything into it. It made me feel with him. And even the sound of the explosions, they extend my life expectancy. Then there's how Kira says Killer Queen when he's in danger or when he needs to get a job done, which usually means after the summon, Killer Queen is going to pose as hard as it can. Now, for the references, man, you guys don't understand how big of a fan I am of Queen. Having the references be there with me already loving the stand was just icing on the cake. For the design, I was already feeling it until I saw the skull plates on its body. You already know from the previous stands I mentioned that I love skeleton-based designs, skulls and all that, so when I saw the plates and sheer heart attack, I was like, yeah, this is my stand for this part. I haven't even talked about his bomb transmutation ability, which, oh man, I love this stand. Being able to turn everything into a bomb, it worked so well with the part. It was made for the part. It set up so much tone and feeling. The Bites the Dust arc alone being catalyzed by the ability and being such a great arc for what happened. I love it all. Though, I will say the manga version of Killer Queen was done way better than the anime version. Araki hand drawings in general is just something that the anime could just never touch. He puts so much work and finesse and detail into everything. It looks phenomenal. And it's like, I do like the anime, but dude, you gotta just look at the manga. You don't even have to read it at sometimes. You could just look at it alone. finalized thoughts. I love everything about the stand. I would like to say that this is my #1 favorite stand, but it contests with another that I have yet to mention. And if I had this much to say about Killer Queen alone, you know that the other one will have at least the same amount of stuff. But I don't think it's possible to do all of the favorite stands that I have through every part. I can't do that all in this one video. I might just do 1 second video, not like a second and third. I feel like I could just do 1 second as soon as I come back from where I'm going to be going on to. You guys might know about an event happening this coming week, and I'm going to be going over there, but I promise I'd be able to finish all of that, and I'll just go full on talking about each and every stand that I brought up. Well, that I have written down and I'd be able to mention, because I can't do that all right here, but I promise to fully do that all together as soon as I come back. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I'd love to see what you guys like. What are your favorite stands? You guys can, I think the best format to do it is that you can obviously put as many stands as you want for like each part, but I feel like if you want to do a common thing, try to bring up from all parts from part 3 through 8 and just do a little colon after that, put the one stand there. Like have a favorite stand for every part, and that'd be great to see, because I want to know like what people get and what's a majorly picked stand. It's not going to affect my decision because I already have these set in stone, but I would just love to see what you guys like and what stands people love to see and talk about and all of that. But thank you guys so much for watching this opinion video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace out and Godspeed.